5. Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Nix. This is DYSG Live. First time we're going to do this thing with Twitch. We're going to do this thing with Facebook. We're going to do this thing with YouTube. Thanks to everybody for joining me for the first time. This is a big venture for me. You know, trying to do something different here, trying to bring y'all the whole smoke from all platforms. And yeah, we are going to kick this thing off, y'all. We are talking about a touchy subject this evening. We're talking about the DC universe as it relates to the CW network. And y'all, it's a lot of love, but there's a lot of hate. And sometimes that hate comes from love, and sometimes that love comes from hate. But we're going to talk about it. I have an esteemed panel of guests this evening, y'all, and we are going to shoot the shit, and we are going to talk about it. We ain't holding nothing back. And we are going to let everybody know how we feel about DC on the CW. First and foremost, let me bring my brother on here. He is one of the most amazing podcasters that I personally know. Inspiration for me even doing this here in the first place. I've been on his show a few times. This is his first time on mine. Crazy, right? But let's go ahead and bring my man on. Y'all know Blerd's Eye View. Let's give it up for my man, Chris.
What's happening? It's your man on the wall, Chris Fury. What's going on?
Hey man, I am glad to have you here, brother. Where can everybody find you, man? Where can we find the greatness that is Blerd's Eye View?
Well, you can check us out on IG. I run the IG page, Blerd's Eye View. If you go there, you get the link tree, and it sends you to all the socials, as well as my personal IG page, Chris.Fury1, and you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, the Blerd's Eye View podcast, and anywhere you listen to podcasts, including iHeartRadio and Opulence Radio.
That's what's up. Opulence Radio. I haven't heard that platform. I have to check that one out.
Yeah, they're fairly new.
Okay. I'm gonna check them out. All right. Now we also have another brother of mine. He is a member of the dope podcast Blerds-N-Whiskey. One of my brothers from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, my man Cam, Mr. Petty from Blerds-N-Whiskey.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Y'all hear me? I'm gonna come through clear.
Okay. Coming through loud and clear, brother.
Got all the smoke for CW. Trust me. We
Absolutely.
doing this.
Absolutely.
I had 2 words always. I'm in. Let's go.
We want problems. We want problems. So tell everybody where we can find your podcast, and you also, my man.
You can find I'm 1/5 of Blerds-N-Whiskey. We're live every Sunday on both Facebook. I'm sorry, not Facebook no more. We're live both on YouTube and Twitch. Look up Blerds-N-Whiskey on YouTube or Twitch. Like, share, subscribe. You can catch us every Sunday live 12 p.m. Eastern. You gotta get that Eastern because some people are West Coast, and I'm like, I gotta be more inclusive.
Yeah, definitely gotta make sure we include all our brothers and sisters from all over this nice country called America. Next guest I'm gonna bring on. This has been, since I have been doing this Blerd thing, y'all. This has been my sister. This has been one of my closest friends. I love her to death, and I had to get her involved. Her and I have the same love-hate for DC. We wanted to do better, but it's like a stubborn ass child. It's like, just I want you to do better, but you just ain't gonna do better. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one half of Too Much Makeup, formerly known as Geek Chic. Let's bring her on. This is my girl Carnina.
Hey,
how you doing, mama?
Good. How are you?
In your cosplay, girl. You better get it. You better get it.
Of course. Did you think I was gonna show up any other way?
Of course not. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize so much. I apologize. Where can we find your products? Where can we find you, your cosplays? What can we see all this stuff?
You can find our business, Too Much Makeup, on Instagram at It's Too Much Makeup, and I'll have to get the Twitter and TikTok because unfortunately we had to make them different. You can follow my personal page, Carnina_Uzumami, at Instagram and Twitter as well. I can help you get all your makeup did and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, because I be like, I don't know how my contours be looking sometimes, so I might have to have you help me out with that. Like I can't contour to save my life.
I got you. Don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also gonna
popping.
Right.
Right.
We're also going to talk to my homie, man. This is one of the guys who I've been seeing here, a young budding content creator. He has been killing it so far with the DC content. Justice, YoANerd.
Hey, what's good, y'all?
Hey, what's good, homie? Hey, man, tell everybody where we can find you, man, because your content is one that I love to follow. Your battles you have, it's just dope stuff, man. I love to find that stuff. Well, tell everybody we can find it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you can find all my content at YoANerd on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just search YoANerd, you're gonna find me. Oh, YouTube, yeah. Just search YoANerd.
All right, bet. So we definitely gonna be looking for that here. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the one and only. She kicking teeth in, y'all. I promise she kicking teeth in when it comes to this CWDC shit. The one, the only, the fantastic Frankey.
There she is. What's up?
I should have came with a belt.
I'm like, Nick's over here playing Stone Cold. I'm like, you got Stone Cold on
I requested that specifically. I was like, if you want me to crash,
it was in her contract.
I was like, if you want me to crash, it has to be the Stone Cold. I was hoping glass would break in front of us.
She wants a whole Titantron.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah,
we ain't got that budget yet.
Is that not available for? Do you speak Greek? No. A Titantron? I mean,
it ain't.
Not the establishment.
It's not in the budget. It's not in the budget, but we working on it. I would tell everybody where we can find you, Frankey, but we all already know. Just in case of those who are.
Oh, that's not true. What's up, everyone? My name's Fantastic Frankey. I'm a content creator, influencer, on most platforms. I'm trying to get better at Twitter. And you can find me at Fantastic Frankey, FRANKEY. Except for Twitter, I am Fanboy Fighter.
Yes, sir. I have to tell you right now, one of our panelists was like very, very excited to know that you'll be joining us this evening.
No way.
To the point where they were squealing, talking to me.
Chris,
I won't say
that was you?
I won't.
Well, my voice is so deep. I don't know if I can squeal in very long, but
I mean, you have a little squeal when you go in the wee. It's there.
We're not talking about the frolicking.
It's there. All right, y'all. Let's jump into this thing, y'all. So DC Comics has a long history of television programs dating back to the 50s. 6 seasons of Adventures of Superman started it all and paved the way for such television programs as The Secrets of Isis, Shazam, the OG Wonder Woman with Linda Carter, and the goated Batman series with Adam West. All these shows ran their course and either found syndication or were never seen again until the DVD Blu-ray era. Things picked back up in the late 80s and 90s. Once again, Superman led the charge, but this time in his much younger variant, Superboy. Swamp Thing, 2 single seasons of both Human Target and the OG Flash, and the modern but sexy take on the Superman saga with Lois and Clark, the new Avengers of Superman, were what we had during that time. Now, during these shows, when they were running, did you all catch these shows? Did you watch these shows live? What do you think of these shows here?
I mean,
majority of them. Of course, not Batman and Wonder Woman. Well, yeah, Wonder Woman, they were both in syndication by the time I was coming up, but the rest of them, yeah, I was pretty much in front of the TV, waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I was a Flash, Superboy, Lois and Clark era. That was my childhood. So yeah, I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid, whatever you want to say. But yeah, that was definitely my jam.
All right, Frankey.
I can only remember seeing Lois and Clark live. Everything else I've seen, but like sporadically from my dad's DVDs. I don't remember watching them live. Oh, and Smallville.
We're getting to that.
I was like, what era is that? I feel like I was a child.
This was like late 80s to like late 90s. These shows.
Yeah, but I'm saying Smallville. When did that?
Smallville was
2000.
Small 2000s, yeah.
2000 was that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
When you say it that way.
now all these shows
only 20
broadcasted
years.
across different networks. As we know, licensing became more prevalent during the 2000s, and companies began centralizing their properties to one or a few channels. Warner Brothers, having DC Comics as a subsidiary, their network namesake, the WB, decided to bring their properties home. At the dawn of the new millennium, DC decided to relaunch its two biggest characters. Batman Begins, as we know, was made into a feature film, and once again, they led with The Last Son of Krypton for television. In 2001, Smallville premiered on the WB to a mixed audience, spotlighting the humble beginnings of Clark Kent as he grew and evolved into the Man of Steel. The relationship between himself and his future arch nemesis, Lex Luthor, created a dichotomy that fans both loved and hated. Foreshadowing was heavy, with tiny jewels dropped here and there from the DC universe. Watching Clark's powers develop, as well as his heroic personality, I can't talk, was both a pleasure and pain to watch. Okay, panel, thoughts on Smallville?
It was Ultimate Superman. Like, if you remember, like the Ultimate Comics, like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Fantastic Four, that's what I saw Smallville was. It's like Ultimate Superman or Superboy, whatever. But it was decent. I liked it for about a good 3 seasons straight. 4th season's kind of lost me, but I enjoyed it.
Was 4th season the season with Lana becoming a witch?
I think so. No.
I think
that was season 5, because it was
okay.
Lana, Lois, and Chloe were all witches at one point.
Yeah. That was the weird season. That was a really weird season.
That was the weird season for you?
That was weird. I'm like, you got away from some stuff.
Season 8. Season 8. That was.
I think it was
what's going on.
I think it was season 7 when they decided to bring in the Justice Society a little bit. And
I think that was season 6. The judge they had their makeshift Justice League with Green Arrow and Aquaman and Cyborg.
I was here for it. I got tired of the Green Arrow shot. It was like the same shot of him doing that same side flip off the building, but I was here for it.
He's like, I can do one stunt only. You better get my side.
I was here for it. I hated Lois always calling him the Red Blue Blur for the longest time.
You didn't like the name the Blur?
No, because when I think of that, I always think of obviously the Flash. Mm-hmm. So, but other than that, I rode the whole ride. Whole 10 seasons. I rode it straight through, good and bad. I really hated that their season finale, the way they did it, because we figured all up until this point, we thought we were going to get the suit. And that was the disappointment. I was like,
I thought the whole final season was going to be him in the suit, honestly. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people be playing Smallville now, but when it was out, it was a movement. It was a moment. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure that respect is there for Smallville. We had nothing else. We had no Marvel shows. We had nothing. It was just Smallville, and we was losing our minds. It got wonky in the middle. I'm not going to hold you. But when they did start, when they started introducing a lot more characters, Aquaman, everybody else, Cyborg, and they was getting clapped too. It was good. I liked it. Mm-hmm. I thought the show was pretty good. And it's the first time I felt like a comic book show was becoming popular enough to discuss with anyone. Like the way that we talk about like Marvel and the MCU now is obviously brand new. But when I was younger, people knew Smallville. Like people talked about Smallville, even though they didn't know who Superman was and stuff like that. And I thought it was great at bridging that gap.
I like Michael Rosenbaum as Lex. I love him.
Definitely.
I did love him. I wanted, I was a little disappointed when I found out Lex wasn't black.
Okay, so what just me did?
Yeah. I was like, son, I was like, is this guy mixed?
Like, way too smooth. Got a lot of smoothness, a lot of swag.
Really. No,
they drew him with full lips too, man. That was crazy.
I know why. I find that picture of him in the Justice League. Are we not including animated, but the unlimited, that Lex was black, right?
Yeah.
Definitely black.
They were trying to say he
Yeah.
was like, they was trying to say he had Greek
Greek.
origin, and I'm like,
Nah,
There's
he
black
was
people
black.
in
I don't
Greece.
think
No,
What
that,
you
that, that was
mean?
Lex Luthor. That was
Yeah. I swear there's an episode where he wears silky. I think it's the episode
no,
he
remember that
switches
episode he had
body
a
with the
do-rag
Flash. I know he wore one. I know.
on? Went to sleep. He stayed with the wave cap.
Yeah,
He went to
facts.
sleep.
Wow. Karina, did you watch Smallville?
I didn't. I have been thinking about watching it. But I don't know. It seems like y'all are. I'm in the middle now, based off of all y'all reviews. I've always heard it's good or it's bad. People either love it or they hate it. I'm like,
let me tell you. Let me tell you.
should I dip a toe in there? No, I don't know. Seems
All
like the
10
room is split.
All 10 seasons are on Hulu, and it's definitely worth the binge. Now, somewhere around season 8, if you skip that one, I'm not mad at you because it got super weird. And if you invest in this, if you emotionally invest in the show like we all did, the whole no flights, no tights is gonna get on your damn nerves.
Yeah. It reminds me of Gotham. You know how Gotham has no
Right.
Batman?
Right.
It's like that, but for 10 seasons.
Yeah, 10 years of this nigga not flying at all. It's like, yo, we know you can do it. Just
Exactly.
What's funny though when you say binging though, because I remember like I was, like I said, I watched it like on a weekly basis growing up. I was in college, so I watched it on a weekly basis. But then like when like I think I borrowed a friend's DVD to watch the second season all over again. And then like when you watch it, when you binge it and watch it in succession, it's like you had a whole week to process the betrayal, I'll never speak to you again, Clark. And she runs off in the hallway and you're left with some sad music. You're like, damn, she ain't gonna speak to Clark. And then next, but when you watch it in the DVD, she's like literally like at 2 minutes ago, she was like, I'll never speak to you ever again. And then next morning, hey, how's it going? You going to the dance? I was like, what happened? Like all the emotion just got sucked out. I don't know, it's just episodic, but it's just I don't know, it just felt weird. Like when you binge watch, you kind of like see more flaws as you watch it like in succession.
Also
They played Pete Ross. They played Pete Ross in his hairline. Like, dude.
Yo,
he played himself with that hairline.
They did him
played
wrong the whole
himself.
series.
Did he go to the barber shop and get the Black Power Ranger number 5? And then
Exactly. He had the Walter
And
Jones joint.
I always wondered, like, why don't they just go with their hair done? Like when you have a fade, you can come to set with your haircut.
Right.
Why be on public national syndicated
they don't know how to do
television?
Because you're in the middle of Kansas. There's no
No
black
one in
barbers
there's
in
no
Kansas.
black
Yeah.
person. There got to be a small pocket of people.
his dad, that's it. Like, have you ever seen?
Do they film in Kansas? I thought they filmed in Canada.
They filmed
Yeah,
in Canada.
they
but
filmed
they
in
took
Canada.
place in
They film
Kansas.
everything in Canada. It's cheaper up there.
Yo, there's wild black people in Canada. He go
Yeah.
right. There's so many black people in Canada. He could have went and got a cut and then came to set and then expensed it. So that's on him.
Oh, definitely.
Don't blame those white hairdressers. He knew they were right. Like first season, okay, and then I would have talked to the producers like, you can't.
You got to slide me at least like 10, 15 a week for
Out
like,
of
a
pocket.
lineup.
I need a raise. Then I'm doing my own hair or something.
So I need some Andis clippers.
Right.
God. I
need you to give access to my homegirl
Must
so
be-
she can come
must
in.
be
and
doing it
like,
himself. He be
Ray
showing up,
Bye.
he be showing up on set with razor bumps on his hairline because he messed up. He got the shaky hand.
Imagine he gets his like barber to come, but the barber is always late to set. Like that would be that. And he's just like, damn, now I can't shoot. Like everybody waiting on this barber, and he just has to film. Maybe that's
I
what
can't do
happened.
my scenes till I get my hair cut.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Pete Ross, rest in peace to your hairline, dog. That was a whole trash
it
movement.
never came back either.
Nah. However, 3 years later, with the success of Batman Begins, WB decided to launch an Elseworlds sort of series with Birds of Prey. It featured Helena Kyle, codenamed Huntress, as the daughter of Batman and Catwoman. The show also featured characters such as Barbara Gordon, an alternate version of Dinah Lance, and even Harley Quinn. The series only had one season. Now, did any of y'all watch this?
Yes.
Yes.
God bless you. Tell me why.
Because I wanted more Barbara Gordon. I wanted more Batgirl.
Facts.
And
I
when you
wanted
didn't
more
get it,
Batgirl.
and when you didn't get it, how'd you feel?
Betrayed, like Lex. Betrayed. Betrayed our
Yeah.
friendship.
I love the comic so much. I'm thinking I'm going to get like Oracle or something, but
Yeah.
it didn't quite happen like that. So I was like,
She was Oracle. I mean, the show was bad, yes, but she was Oracle. She was, or I love that show, man. It was. I thought Huntress.
Really?
I thought Huntress was Latina.
so let me ask you a question. Do you like stuff kind of bad because it's fun? Like, oh,
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Okay,
Was it good?
Yeah, okay. So now,
Was
now,
it good?
now,
No.
now I got you. Now I
like
got you.
like Dinah Lance, I think could see into the future.
She had like some kind of
Yeah,
telepathy
something
powers. I'm
weird.
like,
It's like
Yeah.
clairvoyant, but it was only for like a
I'm
split
like, you
second.
changing her power set. Why?
But y'all,
Like
it
she has
was
the power of plot
y'all,
device.
it was peak.
I am loving Korean's
2002.
face right now. I am loving her face right now.
Yo, it was bad, but it was peak. Like it was like Dark Angel was out. That movie with Jennifer, that show with Jennifer Garner was also out, and then it was like Birds of Prey.
Alias.
What, Alias?
Yeah,
Alias.
Yeah.
And then Birds of Clay. They was all wearing leather. I was like, yeah, ain't no men on this team. We out. And then my dad watched the premiere, and after the premiere, he said, "So I'm gonna opt out of this show. You just let me know how it goes." And after that, I couldn't like not watch it because I was like, Dad, you just don't like it because it's like women, it's good, blah blah blah.
Like there was nothing else for you there. Like you had Spice Girls and Birds of Prey. It's like how else are you supposed to? What else are we supposed to
it was bad, but it was bad in the way that like Batman and Robin is. It was just very very campy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very very campy. Very very campy. So if you people who say they like Adam West, I don't want to hear anything from you. That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
It's camp.
That Batman and Robin, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's what I call good trash.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse than watching as a kid watching Batman and Syndication and then watching the actual movie that they had and seeing him run down the street with a bomb, and my grandmother's asking me like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Isn't Batman supposed to fight at night? Like
that daytime, all the scenes."
It's throwing me right now.
I didn't even know the sun hit Gotham. And
Weatherman in Gotham's got to be easy.
Not even at dusk.
Dark and
rainy.
rainy.
See the sunset, yo.
That's crazy. Oh man, yeah. Birds of Prey, I watched the whole season. I felt like I had to because I missed out on it. And yeah, it was full of camp. It was full of corniness, but it's like Frankie said, like if you rock with the Batman series, you really can't say much. But yeah, it got one season for a reason. Moving on. In 2006, around the time of Smallville's sixth season, the WB merged with the failed UPN and became what we know today as the CW. Smallville went on for a total of 10 seasons unopposed on television from rival comic book companies. It reigned supreme even against the rebooted Human Target in 2010, which only lasted 2 seasons. During the twilight years of Smallville, the CW executives, producers Greg Berlanti and Mark Guggenheim decided to spin off, but not really spin off, a Green Arrow series after Smallville ended. With a darker, more realistic approach, Arrow launched in 2012. 8 seasons of suiting up and filling the city, Arrow simultaneously shot present and flashback storytelling and featured well-known and obscure DC characters during its entire run. One in particular during season 2 gave way to what we all know now as the Arrowverse. The rebooted Flash series debuted in 2014 and was met with great reception. The show mixed grand power and grand heart in a single show with robust supporting characters and plenty of DC Universe Easter eggs and nods. So, guys, thoughts on how Smallville ended? We already talked about that already, so we'll skip that. Thoughts on Arrow and the Flash?
Y'all know I love the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't talk.
I'm like, I wouldn't talk that.
Everybody's quiet because they all know. There's like Frankie on here. I can't be talking shit.
No, I love the Arrowverse.
Okay,
I love the Arrowverse.
I will say this about Arrow. Arrow had like 2 seasons that weren't good, but most of Arrow is incredible. Season 1, season 2, incredible. When they drop off, not say Wade. When Wade drops off the Miracle and the whole town is going buck wild. lost it. And then season 5, when they came back, and he got like a new team and everything like that, it was a whole new show. And then he had the Puerto Rican guy from Roll Bounce.
Mad
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog. But
I remember him from Biker Boys.
yeah, I feel like everyone knows him for something else, but we all know the movie that whatever else it says. But yeah, I think Arrow was a really good show, and it got a lot of slack because for 2 seasons it was bad. But out of those 2 seasons, it was a really, really good show.
I tell everybody the first season of Arrow is the slowest burn ever. Like if you can power through that first, if you can power through that first season and get to season 2 with Slade,
you're
good.
Solid.
I'm gonna say this though, like the first season, yeah, it was a slow burn. He kept saying, "I don't kill," even though there's like thugs with arrows in their chest, whatever. But then, like as soon as he gets to like the second season, it was like, okay, so the first season was kind of worth it for him to see where we get to in the second season, which was a phenomenal season. And then, in my opinion, I feel like the rest of the seasons kind of coasted off of the hype of the grandeur of the second season. Because there was a lot of stuff that just was the inconsistency of Oliver, where he was just like, he has a whole ass team, but then he chooses not to share his plan with everyone on the team because he kept saying like, I have a plan, trust me on this, and then he just does this honest stuff. So it's like, I don't know, just there's a lot of inconsistency where they wanted him to be Batman so badly, but they didn't. They couldn't forward prime Batman.
He is Batman, y'all. Green Arrow's not Batman.
He's street level. He's street level Batman.
He's Batman is street level. They're both street level comic creators.
Well,
he's Batman with
I can't say he's not the great value.
And he pettier. No, he's all into revenge. Remember, he went to take down Superman with one arm.
Yeah.
Like he's a vengeful petty bitch. He's the exact same as Batman. So those tones I didn't think were different. The only thing they changed his origin where like his mom was still there and stuff. But then when she did die, I was like,
okay,
I was really sad.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I was really sad. I was like, oh.
that shit was sad. I was like, just Deathstroke.
I mean, ooh. So y'all can't even admit
that he had in front of me.
Huh?
So y'all can't even admit that he tried to do the Batman voice all the time.
He tried it.
It was like the Nolan verse for Green Arrow.
He was in a town where everybody knew him. If Jake Paul started doing a whole bunch of stuff, we all know. Everybody knew him in that town. Of course, he's gonna change his voice.
I mean, I'm not saying change the voice.
What I thought was wild, he ain't had no mask all season one.
For the most, he no mask. It was just the contour,
his makeup.
Captain just called it.
Barry Allen was like, "This boy, wild. You don't got no."
I think that's what they called him, the Green Hood or something like that.
They were calling him the Green Hood.
Yeah, and I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 7.5 because that last season, I'm like, you cut it in half.
Ooh, yeah.
So the whole League of Shadows,
and I'm like, you could have finished that. But I enjoyed Arrow, and the fact that they turned around and made Diggle actually was John Stewart, and I'm like, please tell me y'all getting ready to do this. Do not disappoint me.
Yeah, you want CW to do a Green Lantern project? You think they up to it?
I want them to at this stage in the game, maybe not. Because I'm like, you got to do like HBO Max. HBO Max is doing it, but we wanted confirmation, especially after that final season shot. We wanted it, like it was there. And the fact that they show him later, like popping up in all the other shows, and like you're not wearing the ring, you're fighting it. You're like, and there's a reason why you're.
I could tell there's some bureaucracy there. Like I could just see them like inviting him to set and writing him into scripts because they haven't quite figured out how they're gonna create his origin story. So I think it's still they left it. Well, now all the shows are canceled, so that's a dub. I don't think he's coming. Unless he shows up as Superman and Lois, which is Fuego. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that. Justice, how'd you feel about the first season of Flash? Did you watch that?
Oh, first season of Flash were phenomenal, bro. Like Flash had like such a good start, and then somewhere it just went to shit. And I can't even.
Season 3.
I don't even know if it's. I don't know when it was.
Season 3.
Season 3.
Yeah.
It just went to like straight shit, and I just couldn't stay with it.
Who's the baddie for season 3?
I don't know.
Brainwave?
Savitar, I think.
No, was this Savitar?
The cop,
Or was
the
it
coroner
Godspeed? Was God no? Was
No,
it,
no,
I
No,
think it was.
Godspeed.
No,
It was
Godspeed
Okay.
was way down the line.
It was Saboteur.
I think it was
It was
Saboteur.
Saboteur.
That's about when I
Mhm.
started being like, yo, this is trash.
Was it no, not a clone of Reverend or whatever.
Was it Zoom? When was Zoom?
Zoom.
No, Zoom was tough.
Zoom
tough.
was
Zoom stays on.
He was giving him hands.
Zoom was on
throughout
his
the whole
bumpers.
joint.
Yeah, he was on his
He was
bumper.
fucking him up.
I just looked at them. I just was like, you know what? Just keep Tom Cavanaugh on contract for the show, which is what it looks like they did.
Yeah.
Because every time he pops up, he's a different type of Wells, and I'm like,
Mhm.
is he
No.
really?
He's
I was
he's
so
just
tired
blessing.
of seeing him. I was glad he
Yeah.
retired. I was like, dude, did he see one of the creators murder someone? They owe him money. No, I could not believe how many times they brought him
Tom knows something.
back. Yo, I was like, I don't know what secret he's keeping, but somewhere around
He really
Sherlock,
is throwing.
I was
He's
like,
like, I got the final script, and I'll tell everybody.
yeah, it was no, it was something deeply rooted. Maybe they are money laundering at this point in time. I don't know what it is, but I was like,
He
Sherlock.
really is a super villain. That's what it is.
Especially since like in season 1, he was some of the best part of season 1, right?
Yeah,
like when you
indeed.
find out, I don't know why I didn't even think about him being Thawne. I don't know. And like his relationship with Cisco and everything.
I love Cisco.
And then they turned him
Yeah.
into some French
Yeah.
detective.
Yeah.
It's like they mix.
Oh, Sherlock.
They mix Rick and Morty with Tom
That's
Cavanaugh.
what it was. He was
yo,
Sherlock. He
I
wasn't
low-key-
Sherlock. He was Sherlock.
I
Count
low
for
key had
Toms.
to rewatch that episode later. Like he had said it and he started speaking, and I wasn't okay. I had to leave. I was like,
Wow. She had to
why? I was
leave.
like, kill him then. Kill this character. If that's
They
it,
did. They
he's
kept
dead.
killing him. He somehow kept popping
God
back up.
damn! Stop accessing the multiverse.
Multiverse of Toms.
I did.
I'm sorry. I get
enjoyed
hot
that.
every time I think about just.
I
It's
always thought-
Daenerys Targaryen, right? That's what they did to him.
I liked the Flash. And when they started doing their crossovers, which it still makes me laugh, is when Barry and Oliver's power switch. They had a power set switch, and the same setup that he was trying to teach Oliver, Barry did to him. Like when they were training for, like when they first
the arrows in the
with
back.
the
that shit
arrow.
was hilarious.
Mhm.
That
It
shit
was.
hilarious.
I cracked up because even he was laughing. And he was like, "See how it feels," and I'm like, "Damn, that's the prank."
like what the
That's
punchline?
brutal,
Arrow-
right? What's the? It was like, shoot 2 arrows in his back. That's funny. Whoa, wait, what? But
Arrow to the
He'll
ACL.
heal. He
He'll
healed.
heal.
He was fine.
yeah,
He'll
he
bounce back.
and he knew it. But I like the whole thing that Oliver was the really serious one, and Barry's supposed to be the lighthearted, jokey one. And when their power set switched, what happened? He had dislocated his hand. And if you pay attention, like in the scene when they're in the elevator, his hand is still dislocated because he hasn't figured out how to redo it. I'm like, yo, this shit is ridiculous and funny. But it held. It held. And but their crossover started to be something that I actually look forward to. And I remember them saying in one of the what is the actor's name? I can't think of his name because his cousin is on the show as Ronnie.
The Green Arrow dude.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. They both have the same last name.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen
is
Amell. Stephen
Green
Amell.
Arrow.
Yeah.
His cousin is
Robbie Amell.
Robbie Amell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
And,
he has an awesome show on Amazon too.
Yeah. Upload.
Yeah.
And I remember them doing like their first major crossover with all the shows, and Stephen Amell has tweeted, he's like, "This is the most leather I've ever seen in one day." and I thought about it, and I looked, I'm like, yeah, that is a lot of leather. So I'm like, it probably smelled like a orgy in this room or something.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Agreed. I always wondered why they put the Flash in leather. It didn't make sense to me that like I was really hoping they was gonna put him in like Nike Tech. But like
if they left Cisco there, he probably would have.
they left Cisco there. What do you mean? Cisco
No.
was in that show forever.
Yeah, I really wish they had kept him around longer but I think he's a talented musician outside of this as well. So
vocals
they
is
all
on
are.
fire.
Yeah.
His vocals,
Him,
yeah,
Tom
like
Cavanaugh,
that whole cast
Grant
has pipes.
Gustin.
I
Even
know
even the
Grant
father, the
Gustin
Black
and
Father.
like yeah, all of them. I'm a big Broadway girl, so I know they do Broadway. Like the father, Grant Gustin, Supergirl, the guy who's like part of who's part of Ronnie.
Oh yeah. The Victor.
Yeah,
Victor Garber.
Yeah, he's also in it. The guy who Supergirl played in season 1, whose father was the what's his name? He's also in Broadway too. Most of that cast. That's why they do those musical episodes, which are excellent.
Which I knew they were going to go down well, especially when they had this episode where it's a dream, like a dream sequence with Barry and Kara, and they sing, and I'm like, well, they were both on Glee, so it just made sense for them. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna work, you know.
I downloaded that song they made just for that episode. It was called Super Friends. It's adorable.
And I am definitely comfortable enough in my man skin to say that when Barry sang to Iris and proposed at the end, tears.
Yeah.
Yo, that's cheating. That's cheating though to sing. You know,
like he can sing and he can tap into the Speed Force. I'm like, what can this man do?
He was like, I can vibrate my vocal cords to sing better.
Did he say that?
I'm pretty sure they viewed that.
I mean, he didn't say it, but I'm pretty sure that's the truth.
Because
Cara just had a good voice. Like she was like, yeah, I love to sing, and that was it.
All right. So during this time, we also got the premiere of Gotham and Constantine on Fox and CBS, respectively. At the end of the latter show's single season, CBS decided to bring Kal-El's cousin to television with Supergirl. The show stayed on the network for one season before eventually landing on the CW and joining the Arrowverse. Supergirl, during its tenure, gave fans the most diversity and representation on a superhero platform, mixing in action and dramatic stories. Thoughts on Gotham, Constantine, and Supergirl?
Constantine will be ghosted.
Constantine was fire.
I thought Constantine was good. I was surprised they canceled it.
I didn't see Constantine. I saw the first episode.
Some great stuff.
It's good. I think it's on the CW, or I think it's on HBO Max. Actually,
I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you can watch it there.
Gotham. Skip that one.
Really, Gotham had some. They had high highs and lows.
There were some moments in Gotham, like during the No Man's Land arc.
Yeah, that shit was banging. And you know what? Like Bruce was actually in it. I kind of liked that kid. First of all, the kid they picked was the snootiest nigga I'd ever seen. I was like, this is perfect. He just looked so punchable. Yes, but like Bruce Wayne is Elon Musk. Like he should look like that. But yeah, I liked all the characters, including Fish Mooney.
Fish
I thought she was good. I love Penguin, the character, like the guy that they chose for that. He's in something else that's really good too.
I first seen him in an episode of The Walking Dead.
Really?
Yeah, he was. That's where, because I was like, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah.
He's in John Wick. He's one of the people that work at the Continental. So he's one of the people that work at like the computers at Continental. But Robin something Wood. Something like that.
Yeah, he actually did an amazing job as the Penguin.
So what was the appeal for Gotham then? Because I watched it and I was just like, I don't feel like watching like a pre-Batman and no one cares about Gordon. So I was trying to figure
I think the only downside for me for Gotham was the Bane that they had.
Yeah,
it just looked weird.
That was trash.
Their Bane looked really off.
Yeah.
And when they finally and I had a gut feeling they were going to do it, because I'm like, how long are they going? I'm like, it'd be something if they just kind of flash forward, and that's what they did when Bruce returns to Gotham as Batman. But you got such a unclear visual of him that it was like, remember how Batman begins, how he first strikes and like the camera shots are just like all over the place. It was sort of like that.
Definitely.
And but other than that, like Fish Mooney, I was living for that because I'm like, oh, she's giving all sister vibes, and I love it. Like when she first comes on the scene and Penguin's holding the umbrella, and she's the first thing she says, like, if you get my hair wet, and I'm like, okay,
Big
I
ass
like
ass.
it.
My favorite thing about Gotham was that Batman is about the corruption. So I think that's something that we always forget, right? It's now Batman's about the Joker and his relationship with the Joker. But the whole point is Gotham. He's fighting Gotham. And like right. And that's what I really liked about the new Batman movie too, was that there were like a lot of fires that he wasn't putting out because he was like, I need to address like this major issue going on right now. I'm gonna get you later, Penguin. I'm gonna get you later, Falcone. Like, but fuck y'all. Like, it was kind of like that. And I'm like, that's Batman. He's always juggling because, like, and that's the reason why he justifies doing what he does and why he gets a team is because he's like, so we got to clean it up. The cops are corrupt. So I like that the show showed that, right? It's not about a version of the Joker and stuff was in it, but it was about like,
I was going to bring that up
because and stuff.
Cameron Monaghan, Jerome, and Jeremiah Valeska. First of all, Jerome, probably my favorite, next to Heath Ledger, favorite on-screen Joker.
Really?
Yes.
I thought he was really good. That's interesting. I like it.
Very favorite on-screen Joker. Jeremiah, okay, but Jerome
was excellent.
He was Jerome wasn't he wasn't for the shits. He was a whole different beast.
The perfect crazy.
What did you say earlier? He was on his bumpers.
Yes.
I can't wait to use that. Yeah, because he stayed on him.
I was every minute of it.
I was like,
the Riddler, the guy that played the Riddler was
perfect. Riddler
I loved his look.
Yeah,
I loved his look.
Riddler was one of my highlights for Gotham. Like him, especially with him working with the Gotham PD, like that was dope. And then like when he got in love with the girl and it started like, going crazy and all that and like snapping into the Riddler, like that joint was, I think that was the best part of the show for me for real.
He made them suits clean though. Those suits were clean.
Yes. Creases so sharp you can cut bread.
I think Gotham is our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know how like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like the underrated Marvel show? I think Gotham it's a really good show. It starts off.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect.
Definitely not perfect.
But it has a lot of high moments.
But what DC show is? What DC show
is? Peacemaker. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Peacemaker is perfect.
I sat there watching
Superman and Lois is actually pretty good too. It actually makes me care about Superman.
I think it's excellent, but I feel like it fell off the first 5.
Yeah, we'll definitely tap that at the end.
But yeah, Gotham. No, I'm still thumbs down in Gotham though, because I tried. If it gave more of a like late teens, early 20s Bruce Wayne learning his craft, I might have respected the show more, but it's really like a kid, I'm like, nah.
It's a show about Jim Gordon though.
Yeah.
It's not about
it's more
Batman.
about Gordon than anything.
So Jim Gordon is the protagonist.
He played Gordon really well too.
He did.
Yeah.
The guy played Bullock really well too though. I will admit that he made me like he's like, like him and the animated one are right up there as far as like best Bullock. Like I understand Bullock. Like I don't like him, but I understand him. What was the third show you were asking about?
Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
I love Supergirl.
Yeah, that's trying. The show was like trying hard too much. Like that was.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Trying hard in what way? What do you mean?
I mean, like they had a point to make, and that's cool. But it's like they like everything like was like epitomized what CW was doing in their own like everything was diversity for diversity's sake instead of like an actual story. Like they would put characters in there without like that them being diverse is the story as opposed to just being a character who is diverse. You know what I mean? So that's and Supergirl.
Give me examples
of you mean like her sister and like her sister
in CW or
Dreamer?
No, like
CW.
people who are putting there for just diversity's sake. That's very interesting to me because every character there has a purpose to her story and like the same feedback could be given to any show like Arrow or something.
Well, that's why I said about CW in general. Like, one of the things they do is, like, instead of being like focusing on a storyline with the character as that, they kind of like more focus on, like, out of nowhere the character is like diverse, and it's like, okay, I mean, I got, diversity in itself is no problem with me. It's just that, like, sometimes I feel like the plot line is more centered around why they're diverse as opposed to like centered around a story with them have, like in real life, like instead of just being the story itself, it's like it's diverse and then the story.
I feel like when they don't address that a character is diverse, it throws me off. Like in Stranger Things, they never talk about what's his name? Lucas. They never talk about, and it's the 80s in Indiana. And there's so many scenes that I'm like, this is odd because his race would play a part in it and they won't bring it up. It seems weird. So it's the same for these characters. To make Jimmy Olsen a black man, right, is going to change who he is as a character inherently. If a character's trans, it's going to be part of her story. She can't just be a trans chick fighting. Like, that's crazy. Like, I need to know more. And there's a reason why we haven't seen heroes like that. And that's why I like the show, because DC in general are moving towards that, where they're just like showing their ass. Young Justice, they getting busy. Young Justice is getting busy, but even still, just their comics. Yeah, they're getting a lot more blacks. Everybody kissing each other. Like
they dealing with issues, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad Cartoon Network did cancel this because they would not be able to handle this.
I'm so glad Young Justice is on HBO Max because they getting. I be watching it.
Therapy and shit. Like, that shit is crazy.
Seeing Beast Boy like that was, I'm like,
fast.
We talked about that last night on the show. We didn't realize, like, my man is going through it to the point that even his skin isn't the same vibrant green that you're used to seeing. It was like he is taking pills to sleep and just sunken in. I'm like, I'm not used to seeing Beast Boy like this at all.
That was like right after he accepted that, like, he has abandonment issues too. Yeah. So when that happened, I was devastated. I was like, why do I feel this way about a cartoon? I don't even know this man or this woman. They was doing can you imagine on the eve of your wedding?
Yeah.
Crazy. Great. Let me ask you this real quick. Do you think at this time during the CW's rise of the Arrowverse, we got Arrow, we got Flash, we got Supergirl. Do you think this is when the CW was at its best with DC IPs?
Yes. And I think DC was its best in shows. Like, there was a moment, all those was coming out, and then like Doom Patrol dropped, Titans dropped, and it was all at the same time. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, what? Yeah,
Karina, what you think?
America. I don't know. I had an issue with Supergirl being on the CBS first. It felt too soapy. I feel like that start, I just couldn't get into Supergirl. I was a little disappointed that they made her just kind of. I guess I was expecting her to go in just to be a badass and kick ass because, like, she really is a badass. But I really enjoyed the Flash. I had a good time with the Flash up until they started getting, again, really soapy and everything started turning into like a romance show and everyone was all in love. And I was like, I don't want to see this in my superheroes. I want y'all kicking ass and halfway dying. I don't care about y'all kissing right now. Stop it. But
the Flash.
Well, that's the primetime drama formula though. They have, in order for them to be on
CW, you gotta do that.
Yeah, CW, they gotta have the Dawson's Creek formula on top of superheroes.
I understand that.
Too far though. Like, even y'all said with Tom Cavanaugh, they did the soapiest shit with him. Because that's what daytime soaps do. This writer loves this character, they kill him off. We're gonna bring him back and kill him again, and then we're gonna bring him back and give him a new identity. That's soap operas. You know how many times they did that in General Hospital, One Life to Live, Days of Our Lives? I don't want you mixing my superheroes with soap operas.
Tell them.
It's just I couldn't. I was pulling my hair out. Like, And then I got Constantine and was like, yes, give me more of this. But y'all put Constantine on NBC and they canceled everything. I said, a girl can't have shit. So I'm very glad that we have HBO Max. We can actually see these actual badass DC characters be adults with the actual adult themes and not them being so childish. Because it's kind of hard to look at your superheroes and not thinking, are y'all actually like having adult situations? Or are you just gonna skip over that? Like, y'all just gonna PG this down? This nigga's over here beating the shit out of this guy. You can't PG that down. Hold on.
I feel you.
That's my biggest issue with CW, with DC being on CW.
Yeah.
Don't PG my DC, please.
Even with Constantine being on NBC, and when
That
they
was
canceled it after the first season, and I'm like, they canceled it because there was no way they can handle that type of content.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how they sold it. I was like,
I don't
you
either.
had Grimm. Grimm was like a step up.
Yeah.
As far as like, it wasn't as dark, but it was dark enough. It was like, it's dark, but it's not dark. It's not falling to the occult. It's not falling in dealing with demons. We're right here. We're right here. We're in the sweet spot. And I'm like, you just didn't know what you were doing with that show. Like, you literally had one of your characters, because she had to leave the show for some reason, you switched her out after the pilot episode, and you had to switch gears. Other than that, your storyline was solid, and everything you were doing was on point. And I'm like, NBC is getting away with this. And then they were like, oh, we're canceling. And I'm like,
we're canceling. Yeah,
right. I'm not.
Yeah,
surprised.
I don't think not enough people kind of knew of Constantine, so there wasn't enough like attention towards it. Like nowadays, kind of people are more familiar with more DC lore. But Constantine is a show that had diversity, that didn't dwell on its diversity. They used the story, and they kept on going with a great storyline and a great character development, as opposed to, saying stuff like that. So that's kind of like they didn't do what most CW did with their diversity characters.
That's cool. I'm gonna have a loaded question for y'all at the end of this, because when we talk about the whole diversity and everything and certain things being included in the show, I'm gonna have a loaded question for y'all here at the end. Definitely, we're gonna tackle that. With multiple shows came opportunities for crossover episodes and TV events, as we talked about already. Some were okay, while others really didn't need to happen. One crossover event, Invasion, we got a brand new show out of that, Legends of Tomorrow. Started as a show to be taken seriously, only for it to later become the comic relief of the Arrowverse. Speaking of comedy, NBC also gained a DC TV show, the R&D professionals, called Powerless. Once again, it only got one season. Thoughts on Legends of Tomorrow and Powerless?
Network.
They were both good, honestly. Like, Powerless started off bad, and I think they switched directors, and then it became like The Office.
It did, yeah.
It was like halfway through, it abruptly changes. Like, you can tell the whole style of the show changes.
I wish they had went with the original plot of the show, because it was supposed to have been this insurance firm in the DC universe.
Like
Damage Control for Marvel.
Yeah, but that's what it was, right? They were giving, like, I remember there was an episode they were making a debris umbrella where you open it and it protects you from debris.
Right. So they were R&D team for some sort of a division that Wayne Tech had, and it was ran by Bruce Wayne's cousin, who was obsessed with him. And
Alan Tudyk. Shout out to Alan Tudyk, by the way.
Yeah, it was funny. I thought
it was
technically that made it more like Agents of Shield than the other show. Like, that was more like, that's what I got out from Superpowered or whatever the show was called. That's what I got out of it. It was like, oh, it's like they mention the stuff that happens in the DC universe, but you don't quite see it. It's kind of like everyone's reaction to stuff that's happening.
And they were using like C-level DC.
Yeah,
They
were DC,
not fire and ice, but just fire. I was like, can we get both?
Just Dove.
There's a scene. No Hulk, just Dove. No Hulk, just Dove. There's a scene.
Actually, I do think they just did that. Let me tell you.
There's a scene that Alan, and it sticks with me because I'm a Firefly fan. But there's a scene that he does where he walks in the room, and if you listen, he's calling out the crew members from Firefly, but he's talking to the workers, and I'm like, did this nigga just? Yes, he did. Okay. I see what you did.
Yeah.
No, that shit was fun.
Thoughts on Legends of Tomorrow? Did anybody faithfully watch that show?
I
did.
did. I definitely
I did.
did.
And it got so good. Damien, damn, what was his
Damien
name?
Dark.
Damien
Damien
Dark.
Dark.
Oh my god.
With
When
him
he
and
did that
Reverse
Return of the
Flash.
Mac, see?
Once again, another actor who you've seen in everything but can't remember his actual name. Like,
Yes.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
I
I'm
call
like,
him White Matt
Oh,
Damon.
forgot.
White man.
Yeah, he
White man.
No. There's another White Matt Damon from Game
Mark
Night.
Wahlberg.
I mean, White Mark Wahlberg. No, he's blonde, like super blonde.
Mark Wahlberg is just small John Cena.
Yes, Mark Wahlberg is small John Cena. Did you guys see Game Night with Jason?
Jason.
You talking about Jesse
no,
Plemons?
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. I remember the white guy who was his neighbor, who's a cop.
Oh, that dude.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
That's
that
his
dude.
name, Justin
Yeah.
Clemens.
Jesse
Him.
Plemons. Yeah, he's Fat
He's
Damon.
also white Matt Damon, and then this guy was the other white. Because they look like
Fat
them, but
Damon,
like
yeah.
even more white.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's how I know. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna remember that one.
I get
Like,
it. It's just a little
that?
layer,
That's
it's
right,
just an
Matt
extra
Damon.
layer of mayonnaise on that.
It's the
layer.
extra. It's raisins on the
Talcum
mayonnaise.
powder.
So it's the
Yeah.
mayonnaise
Talcum
Oh.
powder. There you go.
has the
Talcum powder.
raisins. Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
my god.
Just
Yeah.
a little more gold bond on that. That's all. It is.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Nah, I like Legends. I like shows that kind of take like leftovers and kind of like make it into something else. It was kind of like a gumbo of
Definitely.
everything else from CW that didn't quite work out. So you got like like the White Canary and
Vixen was on there.
yeah, Adam and the Atom and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, they make stuff work, and so that's kind of why I like. That's what made me a fan of the show. Is like they took stuff that kind of wasn't supposed to work and it kind of made it work, which is kind of also the point of the show because all these heroes were kind of like the losers of their respective universes, and it's like he didn't think they were going to.
Except for Heatwave and Captain Cold, because I'm like, I've always loved their dynamic, and
Yeah.
I was just like, please don't. And then they took one of them. I'm like, what was Heatwave without Captain Cold? Like
Apparently, like 7 seasons worth.
but they did like a consistent because they tried to take themselves seriously the first two seasons.
I know
three
half
seasons.
of one season they took.
Yeah, they really tried, and then I guess they found their groove when they started doing this rotating cast. Of
Work for Power Rangers.
The season with Kid Flash was fire, though. I admit.
Yeah.
The season
The
with
Kid
Kid Flash.
Flash?
That season was dope to me.
Between that one,
Yes. Wallace. I enjoyed that one.
And when they actually got away from doing the crossovers and they address it in the show, which was hilarious because they're just like Sarah walks onto the ship and we got a call from Barry and a call from Oliver and one of that who was it? I can't remember which character it was.
Steel guy.
Oh yeah, Captain Steel. He says, it's probably just another crossover. We're busy. I'm like, wow, okay. Y'all, I like the fact that y'all are making it yourselves the joke and it, and it's the tongue-in-cheek humor. And I'm like, I ride with it.
The rotating heroes was a good choice because it kept the cast fresh and different takes on it. So I was like, all right, I was okay with it.
I agree.
Yeah, the CW was eventually met by streaming competition in the form of DC Universe. The platform was meant to be a central hub for all things DC, including existing and new television content. In its short life, DC Universe gave us Titans, Doom Patrol, and the canceled for no damn reason Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Also to note, Sci-Fi got in on the DC action and gave us Krypton, a show about Superman's grandfather and other characters of Krypton's history. The CW would continue to expand the Arrowverse with Black Lightning and Batwoman. So, thoughts on DC Universe, Black Lightning, and Batwoman?
Yo, I had DC Universe.
I did too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I had it, but I didn't pay for it. It was
no, same. I had someone else's, but I watched every show on that platform was incredible. Harley Quinn, Titans, Doom Patrol, they were all really.
I watched
good.
the Spirit pilot that they had on there.
Yeah,
Just for the hell of it.
It was
Patrol was definitely the better one though. I like that one the
for
most.
sure. And you know what it was? Swamp Thing. I was like, is our Firefly. Remember Firefly
Yes.
ended for no
Yeah.
damn reason?
Yeah.
That was Swamp.
And you know
We
what?
were like,
And you
who
know
said
why?
no?
You know why Swamp Thing ended? And this one, I'm like, this is what the writing was on the wall. They overshot the budget.
Really?
That's what I
Somebody
heard, too.
made a mistake in
Yeah.
their finance department, and that's what caused. And they were their budget ballooned. And I'm like, who did that? Like, who made that? Like, they
Didn't carry
can't
the
have
one.
a job.
How
They-
terrible
they-
does that guy?
Like, it's like you
how
added an
terrible does
extra.
that
Like your
guy
only job is to
feel?
do numbers, and you didn't even do
Yeah,
that.
and you did that right.
And he got like
And it was a
400 people
great.
out of a job.
Yeah, and that was a great show. Like
Indeed.
a nice mix of horror. It was Swamp Thing. It was a nice mix of horror with just
It
a
was
taste.
fucking frightening. But I love
And
it.
it
Oh
was
my
setting up Justice League Dark.
Yes.
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 That
It was setting it all the way up.
And when to see it canceled, I'm like, and just like here on the panel, they're just like, how did it get canceled? That's how it got canceled. They shot themselves in the foot.
but they kept Titans.
Whoa,
Well,
Titans is fire.
Yeah,
They
for
did
real.
the Under the Red Hood, and it was good. And
Damn,
Titan-
Hank. Damn, Hank.
and the
I
Jason
love-
Todd they have is unhinged. I love it, and he's beautiful. He looked like Topanga.
Completely young.
Is he not?
I've never heard that. Oh my god.
Hey yo, my son met him and lost his damn mind. Like, oh my god, I met the Red Hood. I'm like, yeah, he's all right.
He was good though.
Let's be honest. But even though he's great as Red Hood, let's be honest. When we heard Jensen Ackles do the voice of Red Hood, and knowing how he plays Dean Winchester, and knowing that he once was on Smallville before he started Supernatural, and he's cosplayed as Red Hood. The
also
costume was in an episode of Supernatural and everything. I was just like, please say Jensen Ackles. Please say Jensen. Damn. Oh well.
Jensen Ackles has offered up himself as a sacrifice for DC for so long, and they just don't want to take it.
I don't know, man. I think that actor is really good.
He is.
No, I think he was definitely good at Red Hood. My problem with Titans is these season finales just suck. Like,
yes, they're terrible.
So good, and then the season finale coming in is just terrible.
Yo, remember the season finale felt like it wasn't the season finale, and then season 2 was season finale.
Right.
Season 2 premiere.
And season 2 opener was trash. I'm sorry, you're not gonna beat Trigon in one episode. I'm sorry.
One episode, and then we didn't see Raven for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
We spent one season on her. She vanished. Yo, but I love that.
Although
Blackfire got some of that new booty.
yes, Blackfire,
yeah,
Blackfire and Starfire.
They was tough. I hate how much hate they got. I hate how much hate they got when they first came out, but they was tough.
Yeah.
She's orange.
Right.
Yeah,
like
she's an alien. Come on now.
She's an
It's
alien.
like she's not supposed to be like, how do you know?
Yeah, they're
Right.
Why?
You're okay with white aliens, but you're not okay with black. All right,
but she powered by the sun, so it makes sense. You powered by the sun, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
be
so
white,
she's
you
space
feel me?
melanin.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
seeing
whole,
those sisters.
the whole first season of Titans could have just been 2 episodes because like he spent the whole time saying I don't want to be Batman, only to be Batman near the end. So it's like they could have skipped like a whole bunch of episodes just to get to the last. Like that's what I tell people, like, oh, you want to watch Titans? Yeah, watch the first episode, skip all the rest, and then go to the last 2. You'll be fine. You won't miss anything.
I did like watching him turn into Nightwing, and like
finally,
I love that every chance they get, they be like,
Batman.
Batman, you ain't shit. Like
right.
And that was their
Fuck
selling
you,
point. That was
yeah.
how they sold. That's how they sold that show. Is that opening when he's in the alley and they was like, "Oh, it's Batman." He jumps down and he was like, "Fuck Batman." I'm like,
And by the way, for
Yeah.
me, for as far as
That's
Titans
right.
goes, worst on-screen Bruce Wayne ever.
Definitely.
no, that's
Definitely.
Sergera
Definitely.
Mormont.
Yeah, he didn't make any sense. Like
Worst
yeah, he can
Bruce
stay
Wayne
or
ever.
you let him stay that way.
He was so thin. I was like, yo, say what you want. I think Ben Affleck had the best Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne
he was definitely the
body.
best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Definitely the best.
absolutely.
He was definitely the best Batman.
That
of all
it's
time.
and yeah, so that's what I was. It came out the same time, and I was like, huh?
Why not?
Like, I was
Like,
like, how are these
Okay,
guys
can
out?
we address the elephant in the room when it comes to CW using characters and then the live and then the theatrical release is using the same characters? Like, I don't see what the problem. Like, I don't understand. Do you understand the level that you could have beaten if you're trying to at least, or be on the same level as the MCU by tying your shows and your films together.
Exactly. Like
you know,
Titans.
The
Like
CW
I always
is not
thought
gonna
Titans
afford it.
was gonna be with like the DCU because the outfits. Like the
Yeah.
Robin suit looked like it was tough, and I thought it was gonna be part of that, but it just wasn't.
yeah,
The CW could not afford Ben Affleck. So, you know, they weren't going to do that. Though.
they had Warner Brothers, but
I mean,
I'm like, it's the same property. They're like, we can't use the I'm like,
Sam Jackson
you're
was
the
only
same.
on Shield one episode.
No, he was on 2 episodes.
Okay, 2.
Yeah, he was on 2.
Hey, that's still
But-
a lot of money. That's
but-
a little.
but-
that was their budget right there.
But he was more than willing to do it for free.
That's the difference between Marvel and DC, man. They're a family over there in Marvel. They're a family. DC's like, yo,
That's
need-
not
I need
what
the
today's
check.
about.
I need the check.
That's not what today's
I
about.
need the check.
yo.
I
Nah,
need
they
to
ain't
check
no- they
over
ain't
in
no family over
DC.
there. That's why they were trying to get rid of mutants. They were trying to boost Inhumans because they couldn't try to get rid of mutants. There was no family over in Marvel.
Damn. And then they played Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like it wasn't a good show. And they're like, oh, that's not our universe. But then their Inhuman origin story was way better than the MCU version.
Right, right.
It was
God,
way
I
better.
want more Flint. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Thoughts on at least the first season of first and second season of Batwoman. Thoughts on that?
All right.
I couldn't get through the pilot. I was bothered by the stereotypical goons, and I couldn't get through the Batwoman pilot. Like I tried to watch it twice, and I just was like, she deserves better than this. Y'all deserve better than the stereotypical bullshit that y'all are trying to feed me. And I can't. Please, somebody just take it. I just.
Yo, you
If
need
y'all
to
do Batwoman and move her to
So-
move her to HBO Max where she belongs,
Right.
call me. Do it the right way. Get a real writer. Get a serious director. But stop with the soapy bullshit and the goons
completely
and all that.
co-sign.
Mm.
Get
You
Batwoman.
want an R-rated Batwoman?
Get
Thank
Batwoman over
you.
there.
Yes.
Get her over to HBO Max. Give her her Glocks.
Yeah.
and let's
Thank
call it
you.
a day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm fucking
Her
with
Glocks,
it.
let's call it
Yeah.
a day.
You should be like the
I fuck with
Punisher for
that.
DC.
Black forces, so keep the black girl.
Yes.
Yo, I started it and same. I couldn't finish it. But then I came back when they
For the black girl.
hired the black girl and they was just playing her.
They were.
I couldn't watch it. I was like, yo, why they talking to her like this? He was like, basically, like, you ain't shit, yo. Oh, what is my white bitch? Like the whole
We could have pulled the Aunt Viv. Like, hey, something different about you. Cassandra.
Right?
and then they
No, they
gave her,
actually
like,
did
a
in one episode.
recovery.
She was like, "You're not the Batwoman I know," and that's when she was kind of like, "No, I am Batwoman." But they did, Frankie. You're right. They played her. That second season, I got it. You changed out your lead actor, which is almost unheard of
Yeah.
for any show. So you already had to pick up the pieces from that, and then to turn around and like pretty much carry the show. So yeah, it got better, but it's no fault of Javincia Leslie, which I actually loved her as Batwoman because I'm like, yes,
So let me ask the question
and
here.
everything.
Let me ask the question here. So was Black Lightning and the race swap of Batwoman, in your guys' opinion, representation or tokenism? You're allowed to split your answer.
You said for Black Lightning?
Mm-hmm.
Black
Right.
Lightning was
Lightning was
representation.
representation.
Yeah,
when
Black
did they
Lightning was
race swap for who?
They
Batwoman.
race swap Batwoman. They
Batwoman.
race swapped her.
Oh, and
So-
Black. Oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think they were trying to do something different, and then
Right.
why not? It didn't seem too pushed to me. They was playing my girl in Batwoman, but
They
Black
were.
Lightning, I think they lost their footing. Like the first season, about like them trying to like infiltrate the ghetto and like
Mhm.
use blacks. Like it was really really good. And I loved what's his name? Tobias Whale.
Tobias Whale.
Black
Oh.
Lightning. He
Yo,
just be
Tobias was this close to being Uncle Ruckus. I'm just sorry. He
Well,
was
for real.
Right there.
He
Yo,
all big Largo.
This old big lip Negro. And I'm like,
I know, right? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
not
I was
that
like, how
far
are they
off
talking like
yourself.
this on the CW? White people watch this. I couldn't believe they were teaching them this slang.
Yeah.
Nah,
Black Lightning, I feel like white people were definitely writing what they think black people should sound like. That's kind of what I got out of Black Lightning. Me and my friends made a drinking game out of every episode of Black Lightning. You take a shot for every time they say the word the streets. Yeah, you'd be toasted by the time.
Whoa.
And that's what I said. That's how you know Tobias Whale was written by a white guy. He's like, I can get away with this. So he just started putting all this stuff through Tobias Whale. That's what he was doing. He's like, no, it's not racist. Tobias is saying
the first time he said big lip Negro, I thought he was going full in. And I'm like, if they do this, I swear. But he did every time he said something to that degree. And like you said, Nick, he was 1 degree away.
Yeah,
from being Uncle Ruckus, just 1 degree, and I'm just like, but dude, you just a shade away from anybody else. Like, you just pale. That's it, And I didn't.
The casting was great though.
Yeah, the casting was amazing, and it was. I took it as Jill Scott.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take a shot for Jill Scott right now.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know why. When I was younger, Jill Scott, I never saw her as a sex symbol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just always got auntie vibes. It could have been like fat phobia in the media and stuff like that.
I got both.
But then like when I saw her as it was no, but then like looking back at Jill Scott stuff, it's all nasty. She like The Weeknd. Like you think it's sweet, and then you listening and you're like, yo, she's wildin'.
Yeah.
But I always thought she was doing sultry music, like smoke a blunt and relax.
Her mic handling skills are bar none.
Bar none.
I know.
Bar none.
I know who's going with that one.
But yeah, I think Black Lightning for me was about representation. Like there were some key moments in that show where they really reflected what was going on for real, like in reality, like Breonna Taylor's situation. The young man who had the violin who had got killed. They were touching on moments. I'm like, you would not see this anywhere other than Watchmen, and that was on HBO. So you would not see it anywhere else being portrayed this way. And I'm like, this is something I want. I want to see this. I need to see this type of representation. And I've heard people say on the opposite side, oh, it's too black, or it's too social justice, or it's too like, no, you're blind to it. You're blind to what's going on.
Right.
And for me, I think it's definitely representation, because like one thing for me I took up about it was like the family itself, just seeing like the family and them dealing with problems. Yeah, it's like meta-human problems and shit, but they dealing with it like as a family, kind of like I don't know if y'all read the new Static comic that came out, but like it was kind of like that in the Static, where like he had powers and like they had to deal with that shit as a family, because not only is you a nigga with powers, like you a nigga with powers. You feel me? Like you feel me? Like
I like
it's doubling it. It's like
it's
like a double.
I'm taking that shit.
And then like
powers, but you a nigga with powers.
You feel me?
You're a nigga, but you.
And then so like it was dope seeing like they family dynamic and having those conversations that we had with our parents just about cops and stuff, but we ain't got powers. You feel me? Like they had those same conversations with metahumans.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lightning did have a friend of mine on that show, so I was kind of liking it. It was an episode where Tobias Whale was like sparring with some dude, and he had like a really like whack looking beard on. He doesn't have a beard like that in real life, but that was my man Gary. He does a lot of stunt work, so he's been beaten up by almost every superhero of every genre.
Why you shout out your boy like that and say he had the lace front?
I mean, because
now we all gonna look.
Well, I had to be. But now I got. I don't remember the name of it, but it's one of the few where you see Tobias Whale actually like going.
He doesn't have a character name.
He didn't have a name.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, he doesn't get characters with names. He's a background dude. He's an NPC most of the time. But like but because I know him, I'm like, yo, that's Gary getting beat up by Tobias Whale. That's cool. That's cool. Like he's gotten hands from Luke Cage. He's gotten beat up by he's getting beat up by all the superheroes. So props to him, man. As long as the superhero needs a goon, he's there.
Oh, he's Turk like in Daredevil. Then he's Turk in Daredevil. Like, if you want some information, go to Turk. Whoop him up a little bit.
Facts.
Toss him through a bar window.
Yeah.
So the aforementioned DC Universe shows were moved to the new streaming service platform HBO Max, and later Watchmen and Peacemaker joined its ranks. With Arrow and Black Lightning gone, the CW added the new series Superman and Lois, Stargirl, and Naomi. During this time, DC and the Epix Network felt we needed to know more about the life of Batman's butler before he became such, and also gave us the show Pennyworth. Thoughts on HBO Max shows Superman and Lois, Stargirl, and Naomi?
They're fine.
Yes.
Superman and Lois is probably some of the best Superman content, especially since we don't get too much Superman content. Like, it's definitely dope, especially adding his family into it. And we got to see Steel in that joint.
Yeah. But after that arc with Steel, when it like the first 5 episodes is incredible. But after that, I feel like
they kind of scaled it down.
Yeah, they scaled it down. But I did like the thought of like showing Superman is flawed. His family don't really fuck with him. He's, like, and I really like Jonathan Kent, even though he's a popular one. He's a really good guy, and he just wants his. I really like him. But
I think it's dope. I think
that's actually that's what I like most about it. It's like, Superman can like fly, faster than a speeding bullet, can stop a nuclear warhead, but he can't talk to his son. Like, that shit just makes me laugh so much, man.
You got 2 sons. One has a society or a social disorder, and the other one who's kind of like, now he's the fish out of water because he was like the star football player in the city and everything else, and now here you put him smack dab in the middle of Smallville, and he's like, I know no one here.
He's a city boy.
They ruined his life.
Yeah,
the juxtaposition of that.
His therapist is gonna have a huge bill. Like,
ruined my life.
That's what they got Dinah Lance for.
We'll see, man. They won't know because like Superman and Lois, Stargirl, and I'm not sure about Naomi, but I believe most of those news shows got the HBO Max money and the HBO Max like budget and writers and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I like this new breed of some of these new CW shows is a lot better than the Arrowverse, because they have like the budget to afford better special effects and stuff like that.
Not you seen Naomi? Have you watched it?
No, that's what I said. I wasn't too sure about Naomi, but
they did not give that joint a budget.
Watch it while you can, because it's now canceled.
Yeah, they didn't have that much source material, so I was like, it's 6 issues. Where do you?
I wondered how they were going to do that, because I recorded all the entire season. And I was trying to figure out, and I really tried to give it a chance, and I still have it, so I'll try to finish it out. But it was really hard. Like we said, like the first episode or the first season of Arrow was a slow burn. The first 3 episodes of Naomi is like that. It's just like really, really slow. And then there's stuff that they're mentioning just like didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, she's like, well liked in school for the most part. She's like the kind of like the gossip queen a little bit of Superman. And yet they say, oh, superheroes don't exist. And I'm like, what bubble are you guys living in?
Right. That made no sense. Like, they should have just connected it with the CW universe just off bat and like had the Superman from Superman and Lois show up.
Yeah.
And he does kind of in one of the episodes. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. You don't want to lean connected. It's connected, but it's not.
It's
like they're trying.
It's a DC show, so there you go.
Yeah.
DC show.
They think it's a stunt.
They merge all
the right. They
think
it's a stunt. That
he's there. It's just I don't know how they try to explain away that Superman's not real. I'm like, you got comics, you have a whole website, you have a kid who knows all this stuff. And then yet he shows up at one point, and he's fighting some villain. It's more of like a flyby episode, like a flyby moment. And I'm like, well, how do you explain that away? Like, are you brainwashing this little town and they don't know? I don't get it. But other than that, I'm like, I get you're trying to not lean on something like that. Like, you wanted to have its own, like Black Lightning. We all know any show, when they have their first season, that's their season to kind of like let's see how the baby can walk on its own.
Right.
You know, which is why we never got that crossover with Black Lightning right away. So, you know, and people were screaming for it. And it was like, no, let this thing kind of ride on its own. We need to see how it does. But with Naomi, it was just like, it's too slow.
But her
like
comic was kind of slow too. Like the very first joint, her first series, it like it starts off kind of slow, and you kind of gotta get into it a little bit. But like I feel like the show but in a comic, it like gives you enough mystery to where you're like, yeah, I want to see where this goes. You feel me? But like the show just seemed like it didn't give you enough to be like, I'm trying to really see where this goes. And plus, I think like the visual effects and stuff just weren't as good, so it doesn't even help it out.
Right. Now, Watchmen and Peacemaker, goated. Flat out. No question.
Absolutely.
I'm halfway on Watchmen. Peacemaker. I mean, I'm halfway on Peacemaker. Watchmen, I love.
I didn't even know John Cena had it in him. Like,
man,
like I said, I've been watching wrestling for years, and I'm like looking at John Cena like go through it as Peacemaker. I'm like, I didn't know he had this range. Like,
right?
Like I said, I didn't see this in the Marine. Like,
so let me ask you this:
it definitely wasn't in the Marine.
Let me ask you this: if you had to bring back one, Watchmen or Lovecraft Country, which one would you bring back?
Watchmen.
Why would you say that to me?
Ended weird to me.
Lovecraft Country.
Knowing what I know about Lovecraft Country, knowing that she had several things written up to go forward with other seasons. Damn.
She did that though, right? Like she pulled up. Like they asked for exclusivity or something, and she's like,
something to that effect. Yeah, something to that effect. And
but it wasn't like they just canceled it, because that's what people made it seem like. But that
it did seem like they were just like HBO was like, oh, we gotta axe it, like because it was a budget thing and everything else. So, but man, what she had in mind, I would have loved to see.
There's a lot of groundwork laid down for it. So I mean, I get it.
And Watchmen is the same way, because who doesn't love Regina King right now? And
she's excellent. Oh, right. I love her as a director. I love her as an actress.
Oh yes,
she's
as a director.
And on one end, I do want to see more of that universe, but on the other end, I'm like, do you want to build off of something that's there already and there's nothing else? Like, what do we get after that? Because we've gotten that before in other properties where they were like, this was kind of a one-shot thing. Boom. Mm-hmm. This is the one-shot comic or one-shot graphic novel. That was it. No more. There's nothing else. Or it's extremely limited. And it was like Game of Thrones. Like, it wasn't even done with its actual run of stuff. And they said by the time they got to season 8, it was jumbled together because those stories weren't finished, like written. They just kind of went with it. So, and it you kind of get this half jumbled thing. Starbucks coffee cups showing up in the scenes and all this other stuff. So I don't know, but I'm kind of on the fence with that one. I love Lovecraft. You've seen the show, Nick. Yes. You've heard me talk about it. Like me and Candy talk about it all the time. Like, we ship Lovecraft Country. We also ship Peacemaker. So it's just like we ship Peacemaker. So to see Watchmen and Lovecraft Country, I don't think I can do that about either one.
I'm curious, does anybody in here watch Pennyworth?
So I started it.
I haven't seen it.
You started it? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually, it's for real, it's not bad. Like, I gotta finish it because it's more like a spy type of deal than anything. You feel me? Like, it's more like don't think about it as like anything to do with Batman. If you think of it kind of like as a spy show, I think you might enjoy it more. You feel me? Because that's more so what it is. It doesn't really deal with too much of Gotham I only seen the first 2 episodes. So, but it doesn't deal too much with Gotham. He's kind of just out there before he even like starts being a butler. He kind of is on his spy shit.
Yeah, because
I think that's what he was, though, right?
Yeah. With
KGB,
he
was a spy.
I didn't watch 1 episode of that.
Me neither. I mean, I know the backstory of Pennyworth. I get it. I know he was part of like secret, like MI6 and all this other stuff. And
he was James Bond.
How you know? Yeah, he was pretty much James Bond. It was like he was a plant in the Wayne family almost. Like Thomas Wayne knew who he was hiring, that type of thing. He was like, hey, I need more than just a butler. I need a bodyguard, a butler.
A lot of good that did him.
A nigga that oh,
that's crazy.
Hold on a second.
That's
RP to the
insane.
Waynes.
Hold on a second.
Right to the jugular.
Damn.
I haven't watched Pennyworth, but like you said, because I'm familiar with Alfred's backstory, it does sound like it could be a good show as long as it's not connected. As long as they try not to connect it, I'll be okay with it. I don't know. I didn't watch Krypton either because I didn't really care about what was it, Jor-El.
Jor-El's dad.
Yeah, Jor-El's dad.
His grandfather.
Superman's granddaddy.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the House of L. Like I didn't care unless they try to do like a Game of Thrones thing or something with Krypton. I might have watched that, but no, I didn't really because the series finale is going to be the world blows up. So I'm like,
I watched the first season and it was actually kind of dope. There was a lot
Yeah,
of
it was okay.
classism involved. You got to see the lineage of Zod, and those niggas did not fucking play
And they
Not
black.
at
at
all.
all.
Really?
Not at all.
Those
Zod's lineage,
Cutthroat is good.
yes.
Yeah.
Zod always stay
Cutthroat.
goated, don't he?
Yeah.
Whether it's live action
And
or
that whole Zod bloodline is black.
Yo,
Come
I
on now,
like that
black-
they making
yeah.
them
Black
black
Kryptonians,
now, yo.
I'm here for that shit.
I like that they making God black now, yo. That is tough.
Yeah. They're doing that Young Justice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zod is black.
And
When they
they're
showed his
running
son,
Yeah.
He's
the
running
gambit.
amok is
I'm
And-
all for that.
So with all these CW shows following the same copy and paste formulas, tropes, and even character types, and seeing as what the Arrowverse has fizzled down to with shows being canceled, shows now in their twilight seasons. I think this is going to be the last season of Flash. Do you
One more. I
think
think they got one more.
one
got
more
one.
left?
Yeah.
Do you think that the DC shows on CW, even with the expectation of the CW being bought out, do you think that we will ever see a resurgence of the DC shows on CW to get back, as they would say, great again?
that was a very leading the witness type question. You're like, so
No.
because they're butt now, like, do you think they'll be okay?
Well, I did take a little bit of law back in the day, so forgive me for that.
Wow. I couldn't believe what I was listening to.
I don't know, bro. Have you seen the Gotham Knights trailer?
Yeah, we want y'all want to see it? Yeah, I can-
No.
No.
No. Don't show that shit.
Whoa.
Well, hey, Chris, we talked about this
Do that
earlier, right?
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think
I
I'm
was
that
so
too.
embarrassed.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, sister, are you okay?
Like, how does it feel to know that they canceled Batwoman just so they can make room for Gotham Knights?
Yo, that's bad. That's
Like,
bad.
So because we talked a little bit about and I told you, Nick, so I said I stay with the smoke on it.
Yeah.
You were halfway there. Out of all the kids that Bruce has raised, and the only one that's his blood is not Damien, and you give this kid a whole nother name.
Yeah, they gave him the
Right.
cold treatment. They gave him that Mortal
Taylor
Kombat treatment.
Hayes.
More definitely.
Like, oh, let's just make up a kid. Oh, Bruce Wayne, like, he's
And I
fun.
think
Like, we'll
it's
give him
the-
another kid.
it's basically the Descendants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh shit.
Descendants did it better.
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. The Descendants slapped. I watched
Yo, for
all
real.
3.
Frankie cracked the code once again.
I don't get it.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know why they.
Wow.
I'm like, are you? It's like it's not even bottom of the barrel top stuff to grab. You're making stuff up.
Just let it go.
You're not trying. You're not even
Just let it
trying.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the children. Like
even
even in the trailer, it was like the Joker had a daughter. I'm like, come on.
That means you have to watch a conversation where he says everyone's name, and while he's describing them, it shows them doing something quirky.
No,
Oh,
It was
man.
just like, oh, that's Carrie Kelly, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
She's the fastest
I thought
hands.
I seriously was getting Catwoman vibes for a second, but whatever. And so,
and she looks blazing, I think.
yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, I can rock with that because Carrie Kelly is very white bread. I think she's even a
Redhead.
ginger.
The
Yeah, yeah,
ginger.
Redhead.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Redhead.
She's a
All
ginger in the
redhead.
comics. So just completely 180 that. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. Her Robin suit was trash though. From what I saw in the trailer, her Robin suit was trash.
That's
But
why
it's
I'm
supposed
like,
to be
Like you can't
Game
give me
It's
top
supposed to
quality
scream.
Titans and then tell me and give me this shit. I'm sorry.
I was
Wasn't-
confused. I was
Wasn't Gotham Knights a
confused.
canceled game too?
Yeah, they
They-
have a
yeah, they
Gotham Knights
canceled.
game that got
Yeah.
canceled. Yep.
I don't understand what the heck's going on over there. Where it's not even, like I said, it's not even scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
You're just throwing stuff at the wall at this point. Like
Yeah.
you have content, you have so much source material. You could have said this. You could have said it was Tim Drake for all I care.
Right.
You could have tried, like, okay, you can't use Dick. Okay, fine. You can't use Jason. Okay, whatever. Use Tim.
Well, actually,
Use Stephanie.
Tim's in the third season. of
I don't think
Titans.
that it's that they can't. I think they didn't. Like they didn't want to.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you could and you chose not to is like,
But
I choose violence always, but at the same time,
Nah, DC's weird like that though, because
that was such a weird turn.
no,
But
because didn't you mention like why don't they have like the same movie properties or previous other properties mixed in with the thing?
Why
So
don't they
then-
like what Marvel's doing right now? What you see on the show, and Feige out of his mouth said it. What you see on the show has connections to whatever's going on for the films later on. Fine, because that's what we've wanted. Here, you have the DC and CW networks, and then you have Warner Brothers, which is now Warner Brothers Discovery. They're saying we're not doing that yet, but at least with this new deal they just had, they just saying we need to get back to Superman because the character hasn't been treated right for some time. We got it, fine. However, you got to do something with your networks where you are kind of not really pushing the narrative. Look at Arrow. When Arrow started out, fantastic. Flash, fantastic. To the point where in the Flash, they've used every previous actor that was in the 90s television show. Every last one of them. They've played a role somewhere on that show. Supergirl. With the Supergirl movie with Lois and Clark, they've managed to grab these actors from those shows in that movie and put them in Supergirl. So you can do it to some degree, but don't just take a pile of horse manure and throw it at the wall and saying that's going to be the new show. It can't work that way.
it's the son of horse manure.
The son of horse manure.
How do y'all feel about the same copy and paste formula of there's this main hero and he has a team, there's someone quirky on the computer, and it's just wash, rinse, repeat for
Are you talking about Chester
show.
P. Crump? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, that's just this season of Flash. I mean, if you look at all the shows, there's a hero, there's a quirky person, there's a love interest, there's a computer guy, and there's these bench heroes that backs them up, and that's like every single show.
Yeah,
it's always Felicity and Cisco.
It's like wash, rinse, repeat for every single show, and they're doing it here again with Gotham Knights. I just want to know, are you guys as tired of it as I am?
I've been tired of it.
I've been tired.
I've been tired.
But it's the formula that works though.
Yeah,
it don't work though.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Perfect example. Spider-Man Homecoming. What does Ned say? There's a guy in the chair. There's a guy in the chair. They got Chester P. Crump on Flash. They had Cisco on Flash. They had Felicity on Arrow. They had Ray Palmer for Legends of Tomorrow. So there's always some level of guy in the chair. I'm fine. That just don't get rid of certain.
To me, the reason why Superman and Lois slapped because it doesn't follow that same formula.
This is true.
Oh,
not necessarily. They got what was it? Not Star. DOD and stuff like that. So they always got someone that's inventing something to make something. But it's also Superman. He doesn't need a team. He is a team.
Yeah.
Like what tech wizard can help Superman? Like why would he do that? Like for what? He's Superman.
Batman.
He don't need prep time. It's Superman. Like I mean, everything that's on Earth can't kill him. So it's like reception of kryptonite. So he doesn't need the team. But to add to your actual question was like it's a formula that you kind of need for a show to progress. Like you need what I call like the plot device tech wizard person or whatever scientist that just happened to be inventing something that episode that they need to resolve said plot at the end of the episode. So it's like all right, cool. Like otherwise, they don't really have a show.
Yeah.
You need that scientist that was inventing the freeze gun.
No. Korean says no.
No. I mean, because that's why we're all here now talking about how shitty the whole universe turned out. Because everybody followed the same fucking formula. It doesn't equate to longevity. We have source material that goes back for, decades of just quality content. DC doesn't need to follow Marvel's cinematic universe. They tried that and they're fucking terrible at it. Make your fucking movies. Give us fucking awesome superhero TV shows. Just make a good ass show. Like stop. There's no formula. There's no shortcut. Like get somebody in there who actually wants to write us a good show. You know what I mean? Like I think they tried too hard to build something because they were trying to be like Marvel. But you guys don't have what Marvel has. They've got Kevin Feige and he gets all his people together and they plan everything out. That's why we're sitting here laughing at Gotham Knights like they're throwing shit at the wall because that's exactly what they're doing. They're grasping for straws. There's no plan. There's no structure. If you can't do what Marvel is doing, don't do what Marvel is doing. Just give us good shit. That's it. Throw the fucking rule book out the window. Give me some good shit because we've got excellent source material. I mean, come on, you guys know we've got excellent source material. Throw all that bullshit out the window. Give us some good shit. Y'all not Marvel.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, we need to like just take that and just send it to DC themselves. Like, yo, we're on the street. Here's y'all. Just listen to the whole thing.
Burn it to the ground.
Dear DC, I'm seeing this video start around 1:36.
Mark that. Time markers.
Yeah, time marker around 1:36, and just watch and give us your feedback.
Please, actually give us your feedback. We're dying out here. Man, it's so sad.
It says something when you have like Serena said, there is so much out there and you won't use it. And it's weird to me. And I swear to God, you keep making Batman related shows with no Batman.
Yeah, that's the fucked up. That's what fucks me up. Like how you
yeah.
He froze.
That did fuck him up. That did fuck him up. Must say so they're doing the Sony route. They just do everything outside of Spider-Man, except for actual Spider-Man.
But they own the properties because for them to say all of it, it's clear they own Batman. They just don't want to.
Right.
It was like, I mean, in Batwoman, you say, "What happened? Oh, Batman just disappeared." That does not sound like Bruce at all.
Right.
You know, to just
if you saw Titans season 3,
the guy like
Bruce, though.
The Gotham Knight, he's dead.
Crowbar.
To the point where he almost took himself out. He wanted to take himself out. I'm like, that's so far from what he actually is. And in this Gotham Knights trailer, you were just like, somebody killed Batman.
And that shit is so far fetched.
Said the Squid did it.
That shit is so far fetched because they're saying that Bruce Wayne has been killed, and the main suspects are some fucking kids. I'm sorry, but Joker did that shit. Two-Face did that shit. Riddler, Penguin, somebody else except these fucking kids did that shit. If he died,
and I'm like, if you think Joker's daughter did it, you don't think he would have had a whole ass fit? We all know that Joker doesn't really want to kill Batman.
Right.
He just wants his fucking electric car, Bruce. That's all he wants.
That's my goddamn car, Bruce.
Shout out to Alan Tudyk. He made that story.
Oh man. So we're all creative minds in here, I would say so. If you were given the reins at the CW to take care of these CW DC shows the right way, what would you do?
Oh, that's easy.
Manhunter show.
That's easy. I just wouldn't do it. Fuck that. CW. We're going to HBO Max with it. That's exactly where I'm going.
Make our own streaming platform.
So burn down the village, huh? I got you.
Burn it all down.
Wow.
Like, but nobody's coming with you. Like, you're not doing like what Marvel says. I'm like, you know what? Ryan Reynolds, you still got a job. Patrick Stewart, you still have a job. You're not doing.
No, I still give all the black people jobs, but everybody else.
He's like, I'll bring back Lightning back, but
Black Lightning can come back. Black Lightning and Batwoman can come, but everybody else, nah, we good.
And Diggle can come too. We're gonna get our Diggle later.
Come on, we gotta fix that.
Damn.
Nah, I would just straight up copy the cartoons.
Right.
The whole DC animated universe in the movies did exactly. They were the OG multiverse before, or connected universe, I should say.
Yeah, still are.
Yeah, they had everything. They mapped out, like, it started off with Batman, and then they had Superman, then Justice League, then Static, and all this other stuff. All the shows existed in each other's individual, lives, and occasionally crossed over, but it didn't interfere with each other. So that's kind of how I would do it.
Karina, what would you do?
I think I'll agree with that. It would be nice for them to intermingle, but I don't want them to be like codependent on each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I get through with one show, I don't want it to feel like, oh, well, we're missing this whole character. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just would probably focus on doing a few solid characters that nobody knows about, so you can't fucking judge me off of, I'm gonna do a James Gunn and just make my own fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, just park the fuck over and just give you guys some fucking cool ass characters. That's probably what I would do.
Okay, Frankey, you're up. What would you do?
Damn, I don't know. I really don't know, because I feel like there's no freedom in the CW verse. Like, right. Even when they have good directors, I feel like there's a template that the direction of just the comics, it doesn't make sense. Maybe a Super Sons, I'd like to see that instead of Gotham Knights.
Well, as the white boys would say, they kind of screwed the pooch on that already.
They did screw the pooch on that one. Or, I don't know. Nah, I would definitely want to see a Super Sons, and then go from there and I want to see a Zatanna one, maybe a Rocket, or a Static Shock for sure. Static. I think they could do Static.
Mm-hmm. See, you're right. You're right there at the edge of what I would do.
Yeah, what would you add?
I would I would get rid of everything and start fresh with Milestone,
with the Dakota verse.
There you go.
The big bang babies.
Yes.
Shout out to Dwayne McDuffie. Yep.
You want to do it different? You might as well go and just wipe the board clean.
And as my head writer, I'm hiring Greg Byrne.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Is he listening right now?
If he's not, someone's gonna tell him.
Yeah. You got a job, bro.
Skip the 1 hour and 43 minutes, and we give you a shout out.
And because that's what I would do. I mean, me personally, I know enough creatives just in this nerd space who I talk to at least once a month, daily, or every once in a while. And it's just too many of y'all who have too much talent. So if I was given the reins, I'm firing everybody who's there, and I'm bringing in my own team.
Okay.
I'm about to say, you got passion right here.
I'm with it. I mean, look, what Warner Brothers Discovery is currently doing is just that. They just cut everybody who was at the top that really was involved with the whole Justice League fiasco. They pretty much cut them. We're we're starting fresh.
They clean house at DC and Warner Brothers. They clean house.
Mm-hmm. So I would probably do the same thing. Do the Dakotaverse. And secretly talk to Kevin Feige and say, look, I'll give you a little producing credit because this shit has got to work. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to talk to the chess master himself. And yeah, I would do like the Dakotaverse. I would talk about, you want to do Naomi? let's talk about somebody who has a little more rich history. Icon and Rocket, Static. You know, we have those characters out there, and it's great that we're getting like the resurgence in the comics. We wanted that. It's great that we've had the cartoon. We wanted that. But when you literally have characters like you had John Diggle, who was really John Stewart. You literally had it. It was almost like you wrote it in place, and you had it sitting right there and on a plate, and you did not. As a matter of fact, what they're trying to do is like a Justice League University. That's what what it is. They're doing like a Justice League University, and he's leading the squad. And I'm like, y'all just keep not using the right people, or I don't know what you're doing. Like, we get it. We have young characters. You want to give me something? Give me something funny. Give me a Kite Man and Plastic Man team up. I don't care. You know, if you're gonna do funny, do funny. You know, go.
Like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, the Ted Cord
something
like make it like a buddy cop movie or something. Like
exactly. I'm like, I would live for that. Give me a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle with Ted Cord. Give me that. You know, and have fun with it. Just like with Legends of Tomorrow. Have fun with it. You know, it doesn't always have to be romance and everything else. Yeah, this is a buddy cop comedy show. Do it.
Yo, if you gave me a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle series and made it a funny, I know so many people right now who would be hilarious as writers on that show. Like I wouldn't move forward if I couldn't get Kurt to write that show.
I love how you
Brandon from
your
Cult
shot
45.
like this guy and this guy.
I couldn't move forward if I couldn't get Kurt on that writing team. I would not move forward. I know that should be hilarious.
And the fact that they even introduced a Booster Gold by Donald Faison on Legends of Tomorrow, and then they canceled it.
The Blurred Father.
The Blurred. I'm like, damn.
Who's the white guy? Who's the white guy from Scrubs?
Zach Braff.
Yeah. He'd have made a good Blue Beetle then for Ted Cord if
exactly.
It would have been perfect.
Zach Braff?
That's perfect.
Zach
Braff as Ted Cord.
As Ted Cord.
Not Jaime Reyes, as Ted Cord.
No.
Ted Cord and Donald Faison is
no, we don't want Ted Cord. We don't want Ted Cord? Or not Zach Braff?
Because it's a comedy,
Braff.
you know, it's always Booster Gold is always the one that's just kind of like getting all the hijinks going, and Blue Beetle is just kind of like
really well.
Yeah. They're the Riggs and Murtaugh of comedy.
I'm in trouble for this shit.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and go this evening because I know people have things to do. But before I let y'all go, real quick, we'll start with Carnina, then work our way up to my man Chris. Favorite CW show and worst CW show.
I'm gonna say my favorite CW show. I enjoyed watching Black Lightning. I enjoyed watching the family dynamic. I enjoyed seeing the daughters, the mother-daughter relationship, the father-daughter relationship. I don't know.
Or if you can't say the worst one, which one is getting on your nerves the most?
The entire CW.
It was just that moment and I can't remember which season it was, for Green Arrow, where it just seemed like Felicity was just bitching all the time. Like she just was just like, please stop talking. Why are you here? Whatever season that was, I'm just gonna say that particular season, that shit was trash.
She stopped wearing pencil skirts is what it was.
And those cute little sweaters.
Yeah, Bring back the pencil skirt.
Her ponytail went away.
You said her ponytail. That's what happened.
I was like, why did they take her hair down so she could be more desirable for
who?
Arrow?
Yeah.
Now I can see her.
They worked in teen movies in the 90s.
You took your glasses off.
She's all that, you know. So
that's what they were saying with Felicity. He saw her with her glasses off, and she had like her bag out, and he was like, "God damn."
That was just one of the times he snuck off the island. That's when he's seen her.
Yeah, they went right back to the island. What? Oh, okay.
Cam, favorite show and worst show or show that got on your nerves the most?
Favorite? I guess I'll go. Well, it was a CW, so I guess I'll go with actual still Arrow. I guess. No. Actually, no. I take that back. It was definitely Legends as far as like my favorite because, like I said, I just kind of like how they took crap and made it a little bit better. The worst would be Titans for me. Yeah.
Tough crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I miss Hank.
Wow.
That was so dirty, man. That was so
bring
wrong
up
how he
Hank's
did that,
death. That shit was so funny.
Justice, what about you, homie?
Favorite, I'm gonna go with Green Arrow for like it had like the longest time where it was just complete fire. I think out of all the shows, it had the longest run of just being nasty. You feel me? And also the cameos, like it had mad cameos, like Bronze Tiger, Amanda Waller was in that joint. Like it had mad cameos that were tough. I would say worst probably would be. I'm gonna say the Flash because it started out so good and it just got so bad. Like it just went so bad for me. So I'm gonna have to say Flash.
All right, Chris.
My favorite, it's kind of up there. It's Arrow and Black Lightning. They're both up there for me.
Okay.
I wouldn't say worst show, but probably it's worst season, and it's of no fault of their own. It would probably be the freaking 5-part episode of The Flash that they call the actual season.
During the pandemic.
The crisis.
Yeah, that, and it was, that's why I'm like, you could have just saved it then. You just should have saved it. Like
It was just dragging on.
Yeah.
Like Oliver kept on dying and coming back.
Like, what is going on?
I was like, how many times?
Let this man rest.
Yo, bags.
Like no lavish
Buffy,
shit.
remember they took Buffy? There's like, we know Buffy in hell.
Yeah. Out of hell.
Why y'all do that? I was dying when I was like, yo, y'all took her out.
She was
of
like,
heaven.
I was in heaven. Yeah, I'd be
feeling
pissed
it.
too.
Because they was like, yo, I know that bitch in hell. She
Like, what did y'all think she did? Like,
she did wild. I was like, yo, she saved the world.
Several times she sent demons. You brought her out of, you think she's down there in hell? She's suffering. No, she's not.
Frankie, your favorite show on CW and your worst one or one that got on your nerves the most?
I guess favorite would be Arrow and Black Lightning season 1.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my least favorite, Batwoman. Yeah.
Understandable.
Which season?
Yeah.
Or just the whole
Understandable.
show?
All of them. All of it. Is one better?
No.
No.
It's a good season.
2 kind
3 got better, but because I think they found their legs a little
Too
bit.
late. Too late.
Yeah, and it was too late. Yeah.
It's like too late. Here comes Gotham Knights.
We can do worse. Nah.
That's such good shit.
All right. I love how everyone named Arrowverse shows. For me, my favorite CW show and the one that got on my nerves the worst is the same show, and that is Smallville.
The OG one.
Smallville, I love Smallville from beginning to end, but it also got on my nerves the most because a lot of stuff they just did. I was like, why are you doing that? Why is he meeting this character now? Why is he doing this now? He's not even Superman yet. Why is he fighting Doomsday?
Oh God, I forgot about
that was a bad season.
Who is Chloe? Why do we need her?
Yeah.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020, right?
Okay.
Chloe and being Lex Luthor.
mean, like Lex was right all this time.
Right.
Yeah.
But esteemed panel, guests, friends, thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys being a part of the first simulcast, if you want to call it that, of DYSG Live. Shout out to my man Chris, Blur's Eye View. Please listen to that podcast. Subscribe. It's dope shit. Also, Blerds-N-Whiskey. Dope shit. Love these guys so much. Carnina, Too Much Makeup. Y'all buy this makeup. I can't buy any because I can't contour, but y'all please buy some. Justice, yo, man, keep doing your thing, man. Your content is amazing. I'm enjoying it every time you post something, man. Your reels are awesome as hell. And Frankey, you already know how I feel about you. We love you so much, and you are definitely the most probably protected woman in the Blerd community.
This is true.
Because I know me, myself, and a hella other niggas who will come off the hit for you. So we appreciate you and everybody else in this space. Y'all, appreciate y'all for popping through. This has been DYSG, the rise and fall of DC on the CW. I may do something like this again, and hopefully we get another panel. Some of y'all may come back and we'll talk some more shit. So then, this has been Nix on behalf of Chris, my man Cam, Carnina, Justice, and Frankey. As always, people, live to play to win, win to live. I speak geek. We speak geek. Do you speak geek?
That's tough.
Yeah. I didn't know